Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. This match is going to be between Iris and Nada, and it's going to be on the new PC. Special thanks to everybody. Now working, had to upgrade, I went to Windows 7, then had to downgrade back to XP, have everything reinstalled now. Basically on Windows 7 I figured out that I couldn't get StarCraft working the way I wanted it to. Also couldn't get my replay recording software working the way I wanted it to. So downgrading to Windows XP, which doesn't fully utilize everything I've got, but it'll be in place for StarCraft 2 stuff when it comes. So excited about that. Iris starting the bottom left-hand corner in teal. Looks like Nada is starting the upper right-hand corner in purple. But this is definitely going to make commentating easy for me. And hopefully that'll increase productivity, despite all the crazy workness that's going on. Special thanks to everyone, because before it was, I'd say, about a 1-to-2 ratio, so half an hour of commentating would lead to an hour of processing, for example. If it was a 1-hour game, that would be 2 hours plus of processing. Oh, so cute. So, and then splicing and everything else on top of that. This will dramatically cut that time down for me in particular, and hopefully that will, with the lower input costs, I'll be able to produce more videos for you guys. So special thanks to everyone who donated, particularly John Saunders, old roommate. Special shout out to him, and hope you guys enjoy this. This MSL is just fantastic. The MSL's been so good lately, and I know it's considered less prestigious than the OSL. They're trying to mix up the format now to kind of, I don't know, gain some more prestige. I don't like the new format. I actually really liked the double elimination format they had before. Now it's just kind of, it's not bizarre, but it's not straightforward, and they're playing it on 2 different days, which kind of frustrates me. I think the way it works is you have the 2 players. I still think it's the losers match format, but unfortunately, in the winners match format, but they're playing it on 2 different days. They're not releasing all the videos at once, which makes it a little bit harder to commentate. So I don't have all of Group E. I only have the first 3 games out of Group E for you guys. Anyway, it looks like that barracks being placed at the forward position, as well as the gas for Iris, gas plus barracks for Nada as well. Both players opening up without cheese, not doing anything too crazy. And the question is what are they going to do after this? Most likely, you're definitely going to see a first factory. It's possible, well, it's beyond the realm of 14cc at this stage. Byzantium 3, one of those nice maps that with early, I feel like whoever's aggressive ends up winning. Unfortunately, with a cross map position here, I feel like any aggression is going to be punished because there's a long reinforcement point, and it makes it just that much harder to establish a position on top, things like that. So whoever goes, I would say, the more passive route in this circumstance could end up the victor. And these are 2 players that I think like being aggressive. Nada, known for his tornado style, throwing out a lot of vultures, just keeping his opponents off balance. More Protoss than I would say Terran in that regard. He really perfected that, the constant harass with the continual economic buildup. But it just perfected it. But Iris, on the opposite end, known as Berserker Terran, he's the guy who's even aggressive sometimes in his defenses. He'll chase down extra Zerglings, things like that. About the player, big block thing there. Anyway, I really got to feel like out of this entire group, I almost favor Harangue 2 to come out of it, because all the 3 Terran, even though they're high-level Terran players, Up Magic, Nada, Iris, Harangue 2 is the only guy that it feels playing kind of consistently at a high level right now. Nada just feels, I feel like he's playing stale. Iris is not playing to his top capability, although he's still a very good player. And 2 factories here from Nada, so I think Nada's going to end up getting punished from this a little bit. It's going to be critical that he denies the scout. Let's see if Iris can kind of sniff this out. If Iris even gets a little peek, though, at the secondary, he's going to see that a command center is not being placed, and he should be able to react to it. Looks like Nada is going to be able to get that scout in himself. Looks like Iris did, in fact, send that scout out a little bit later, so it's just now coming in. Ooh, SCV already made it to the secondary, so he knows that secondary isn't being placed at the very least, or it's being placed safely from the interior. I've got to assume he knows that some sort of either Wraith or factory build is being established here. First factory out, just plopping down some additional supply depots, nothing too crazy. And I like that positioning for Nada. He's going to make that barracks just right in the way, kind of make a little linebacker effect. Try to catch that SCV off guard. It looks like Iris still trying to sneak that scout in, just taking a little bit more damage than he probably wanted to there. That vulture will definitely be able to get the scout out for him, though. I can't imagine that Nada would be able to stop, even with the reinforcements that might be coming out of this factory. I'm not sure if he's producing a tank at this stage. He is upgrading. I've got to assume this is going to be a tank actually here. I think he's going tank and then vulture speed at this moment. But there the vulture's going to come. He's probably going to end up losing a little bit of a misfire, attacking the barracks instead of the marine. But there, vulture out just in time. I take it back. Nada might be able to blockade. He's running back with that vulture, able to block off just barely. So he's only shown a single vulture. There's that tank popping out. And again, I think he's going with vulture speed here. So he's going to use some tanks and vultures, run down. It's possible he's going for siege. Looks like Iris in the opposite end, planting that bunker down, and looks like Nada in position to take a command center in the meantime. Unfortunately for him, he's going to end up economically behind here, and he's in a very bad position to try to push against this, but he's got to go. He's got to somehow get those vultures, somehow let them sneak by so they can get some economic damage. Not sure why they're going to the south there. Nada did get the scout off, and you can see the statistics there. It looks like everybody is favoring, oh, it looks like I think they're favoring Iris here. It's hard to tell. It's kind of odd little small text here. Looks like they're heavily favoring Iris, I think, trying to do the comparison. No, they're favoring Nada actually quite a bit. More Nada fans than otherwise. And this is what I was talking about. And really what the key for Nada here is using that tank to try to get that other tank out of position, try to sneak those vultures by, and that opportunity just closed. Ooh, just closed very rapidly there. Let's see if he gets siege tech up a little bit sooner. He's got several vultures in position, but with those two tanks, that barracks, ooh, lifting the barracks off, going to use it to spot. I think that might be a mistake, because again, those vultures, if they have any sort of upgrade, they might be able to sneak by and get a couple SCV kills, and that's really, I think, all Nada's really thinking about here. And looks like an SCV going to come up, attack that secondary, which is going to delay that command center a little bit here for Nada. Nada, again, keep in mind this is all mining time for the last minute that he hasn't had out. Second SCV coming out to try to support here, as well as a vulture to kill that SCV. Let's see if it's going to be able to come in and scout. No, actually still no scout, at least on the interior, and there's mines being placed. So Nada just going to try to do a small contain, otherwise maybe try to force. Unfortunately, with all those tanks that are out, those tanks can probably roll over once another tank comes out, and with the Goliath support as well, they're just going to be able to run over that minefield very quickly. Although the mobility, it just feels, for whatever reason, I think Artosa said it best, for whatever reason, Vulture tank ends up beating Goliath tank, and who knows why. And I think a large portion of it is just mobility, and just because there's a lot more micromanagement with the cutting off of reinforcements, things like that. Iris does want to get a peek inside Nada's base, putting down that academy just in case, adding 2 factories. Nada also going up 2 factories. And let's see if Nada tries to play economic catch-up. He's got some mines down at the nearest expansions that might allow him to take another expansion quickly. He is pretty significantly economically behind. He's getting his own academy and his own armory up. He does have more troops on the ground, but there's not a lot he can do with them right this moment, and there goes those tanks just barreling through that minefield, pushing up. Nada is going to have to think about being on the defense here, and really I think his best option is to use those vultures as kind of a harass threat. As soon as Iris starts pushing out, maybe threaten those vultures running in behind them, make sure that Iris decides to stay at home base rather than pushing up and being aggressive. Unfortunately for him, okay, now they're pushing out. Let's see if he can sneak through now. This is brilliant timing. Wow, beautiful game sense by Nada. Nada did that completely in the dark. He had no comsat, nothing. Genius play, running through with just that was wall hacks right there. Oh my gosh, it's like he had Black Sheep Wall up, and he's going to be able to get a couple SCV kills, and that's exactly what he's looking for. They're getting surrounded and killed pretty quickly, but he's able to disrupt the SCV mining time, able to get a couple of SCV kills. That is going to draw Iris back, so that was the perfect attack right there. Beautiful timing. He did that without any spot on that attack troop going through the middle. Now the mine's being cleared. Iris trying to push up as quickly as possible to do as much counter damage, and a little bit of a bonus kill, and that is really going to help Nada out. A little SCV wandering there, but the question is he going to be able to stop this attack group that's now pushing into his front door? And it looks like Siege Tank just getting upgraded. I don't see the rest of the factory spinning, and so it's going to be an absolute skeleton crew to stop the 4 tanks, a couple Goliaths, and he's really got to delay this. Running back, he might end up losing some SCVs of his own here on the secondary. The siege tank sieging in position, so Nada in a terrible position now. Iris is going to be able to get some kills of his own. So even though able to sneak those vultures back, he wasn't able to draw Iris back long enough, and isn't able to really bring up a significant attack force to kind of counter this attack force that's on his front door. So he's bleeding SCVs just to defend this, but wiping out a significant amount of tanks. There's only 2 tanks left. Iris actually losing his army here, although he is somewhat contained. So Iris being a little bit too, maybe, I'm not sure if I want to call that brilliant defense on Nada's part, a little bit of over-aggression on Iris's part. Iris sneaking in those vultures to absorb some hits, save that last tank, and the rest of those vultures are going to get taken out. And this is disastrous for Iris. Iris has he has just reinforcements on the ground now, lost his entire attack force. I don't know if he took out enough SCVs to really balance that out. And now Nada's on the move, comsatting forward, and he is going to be able to clear this. The siege tank sieging up once again. That's not going to last very long, and he's got a large attack force of Nada's bearing down on him, and I'm not sure that he, let's see, I think he took out 4, maybe 5 SCVs. He's still not in a terrible position because I still feel like he's economically ahead, but without that armory, if Nada can just run up and establish position right quick, he's going to be in a fantastic spot. Iris now comsatting that front door to get a good look, and 2 starports going up for Nada. So Nada going to do a quick switch to Wraith now. Interesting. Wow, 4 starports. Doing a really quick switch to heavy Wraith tank.